The voice of Pat Murphy. The Brewers get 2 out of 3 over the weekend, which is fantastic. But the flip-flopping going on in the division is nothing short of amazing, because you've got now the Chicago Cubs dwelling in the basement, which I'm sure nobody's shedding a tear over. You've got Cincinnati falling off. St. Louis has now jumped into second place, as they are now 6.5 games off the pace of the Brewers. Everybody else just kind of toiling away, and the Brewers just keep chugging along. Now they got the West Coast trip, where they start with the Angels. They have 3 against the Angels and 4 against the Padres. It's a long. The games started on Friday against Cincinnati, where you have a 3-game set, then a 3-game set, then a 4-game set, then a 3-game set before you get another off day. So they've got, in essence, I think it's 9, 10, 11, like 12 games, 12 straight days of games before they get back home. And then they have an off day on the 27th, and then the Cubs come calling again right after that. But Brewers, they're just kind of, they did it in a lot of different ways too, but they're just kind of playing their game, man. They get a couple of long balls, they get down early, they come roaring back. They couldn't do enough on Friday night. That was just a game that just got away from you. But between safety squeezes, plays at the plate, stealing bases, there's just so much that this team is exciting to watch, that this team has something going on right now. So that's good. You got Rory, who just choked one away yesterday against Bryson DeChambeau. Couple of birdie putts, makeable putts, and just let him get away. And Rory succumbed to the pressure of DeChambeau. However you take his celebration, whatever you want to do with it, that's fine. I mean, some look at it as just being a jerk. Others look at it because he's not exactly the nicest guy to begin with. Others look at it as just a very exuberant guy who just won the U.S. Open for the second time. So regardless, we're going to talk some Packers today. And the Packers have wrapped it all up. Pete Doherty, the Green Bay Press-Gazette, going to be joining us coming up here in just a little while. And also a break yesterday is now beginning the trade talks for the Brewers. And that would be the Mookie Betts hand break, that now has put people into the, they have to search for another infielder. Could it be Willy Adames? I don't think it will, but we can get into that as well. And then tonight you got the Celtics and the Mavs, and the Celtics back into Boston, not the Boston Garden. I don't even know what the hell that thing's called anymore, but nevertheless, they're back in Boston, where they can wrap it up in front of their hometown fans and actually put the cap on a really solid season, an incredible postseason. But Dallas, when they face elimination, Luka tends to show up. So we'll see which Mavericks team shows up and plays strong. So there you have it. If you want to get a hold of us, 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You can find us 608-321-1670. That's the text line, 608-321-1670. You can find us on Twitter or on X at Bill_Michaels, at Bill_Michaels. You can also find us, find Grant over at Wisco Grant on Twitter as well. Instagram, Facebook.com, either one, /The Bill Michaels Show, The Bill Michaels Show. You can find us on TikTok under the same name. You can also hit us up on YouTube. YouTube, continue to subscribe, and as we continue to climb as far as subscribers go, but go to youtube.com/Bill Michaels Show, youtube.com/Bill Michaels Show. Subscribe absolutely free. You can find us on the Twitch app, on the Kick app. You can find us on LinkedIn. Email the program, thebillmichaels@gmail.com, thebillmichaels@gmail.com. The website, simply thebillmichaels.com. On the app, WOZN, The Zone Madison, and then after the fact on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts as well. Grant Bills, how you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Back from Eagle River. The only damage I took is just a little bit of a sunburn. Other than that, I'm in excellent shape. So I'd say that's a successful weekend.
Yeah, it was a nice weekend. It got nice yesterday, got warm yesterday, and the sun was out most of the time. The storms rolled through early on, but we just went over to the club and kind of laid by the pool and didn't do much anything. I did a little bit of yard work. But Saturday we had a good time. Saturday we took the boat out up and down the Milwaukee River and hit a couple of different spots and had a great time, had a lot of fun. I haven't posted it on the public page yet. I'll have to do that. I got some really cool pictures out in front of, because they had Polish Fest going on out in front of the festival grounds. So between that and the fact that the city was lit up and the art museum, they had Lakefront Festival of Art going on, and the wings to the art museum were open and illuminated, You don't hardly ever get that at night anymore, unless there's a special event going on. So I actually got some really cool pictures. So I'll post those a little bit later on. But got some cool stuff out there. So over the weekend, it was kind of nice. Didn't do a lot Friday. We just kind of hung at the house and grilled out and just kind of sat here and did a little, burned some stuff in the fire pit. I had some yard debris, so I burned some of that. We just sat by the fire and got a little smoky. But beyond that, it was just a relaxing weekend, needed relaxing weekend. And I'm kind of like, now, when's the next time you're going on vacation of any type?
I mean, I'm going to have to take a half day on Friday for rehearsal dinner in late July. But other than that, like, I think the very, very end of July. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm here for, I got nothing going on, which is, by the way, such a good feeling because the last 3 or 4 weekends I've been all over the place. So I'm happy to be in one place for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Because you guys were moving and doing all that. And then, out and about. Yeah.
Minneapolis last weekend, Eagle River this weekend, which is great, right? It's a very busy time of year, but I kind of just want to lay around. It was really cool. It was really cool to see it from the lake. Cause on Saturday we hired a boat captain with a big, 2-story pontoon to putt us around and take us from bar to bar, which is the way to do it because we weren't in charge of driving the boat. So this guy's been doing it for years. So he knew he pointed out, now that's Jim Rome's house. And this is, so he's a great tour guide too. But the first experience in Eagle River was great. Would love to go back. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. It was a good weekend too. I don't think you didn't have any rain up there, did you? Or did you?
A little bit yesterday as we were leaving, but at that point we were done with everything, so it didn't matter.
I thought it was a decent week. It was the first time in a long time we've had, I don't want to say none, but very little rain. Didn't have much Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we had that quick burst of whatever, and then it was gone in the morning and turned out to be a really nice day. And a little bit came through, like a couple of spotty areas, but beyond that was good. So, and then the only day I have coming up, because I'm on the countdown now to vacation, so I'm less than. Oh, God, it'll be 2 weeks from Friday is when I leave. But I do have the 26th off because I'm doing an event at American Family Field that day for some sponsors. So, and they'd been asking me for years to do it. And that was finally, it's like, okay, that's the only day they have this year. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So we've got that coming up on the 26th. But other than that, I'm looking forward to getting away and doing nothing. As you know what, we wound down now with Packers camp. Brewers are into the throws before you get the All-Star break. Here's another question. Under Craig Counsell, and this was something that was made note of. Under Craig Counsell, didn't it seem like year after year this team limped into the All-Star break?
Yes, always. And I don't know if it was a month-long limp, but the final 4 or 5 games, you bet your ass. Yes, every year.
It always seemed like this team had a limp. Got into this discussion yesterday with a friend of ours out at the club, and he was saying the same thing. Let's see if Pat Murphy can overcome that. This guy's a Cubs fan, by the way. And I said, that's a good point. Because he was wanting to know my opinion. I said, I have no opinion. I've never seen Pat Murphy manage a team before the All-Star break. So I can't tell you. I don't know what he's going to do. But right before the All-Star break, at least the Brewers are at home. They've got 3 against Pittsburgh and 3 against Washington before the All-Star break. At least they're at home. So that way they have still a little bit of that home mojo going on. They come off of a pretty good road trip too. They come off of another West Coast deal where they go 3 against Colorado and 3 against the Dodgers. Then they have that Monday off, and then Pittsburgh and Washington, and then they get into the All-Star break where they get those 5 days before coming back and heading on the road to Minnesota and then taking on the Cubs again. But yeah, I don't know. It always seemed like it though. So that's something we'll kind of keep an eye on as the weeks wind down before the All-Star break. But the big question is, would the Brewers be willing to get rid of Willy Adames now? Because the Dodgers, Mookie Betts goes down with a busted up hand, and he's going to be out for quite a while, at least through the end of August. So now they're looking for somebody. And immediately, some of the Brewers infielders, but more prominently, Willy Adames gets tossed into the mix. So we'll get into that discussion as well, because I've said it before, I just can't imagine with Willy Adames going yard like he did the other day, yesterday. I can't imagine the way that clubhouse is right now that you would suddenly get rid of him unless the price was so good you couldn't pass it up. I never say never, but how on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being just floored shocked, how shocked would you be if they traded away Willy Adames, Grant?
I would be floored, not because I don't think it makes baseball sense. If they can get pitching prospects back for essentially losing out on 2 months of Willy Adames, I think that makes a lot of sense from Matt Arnold perspective. I'd be floored if Mark Attanasio let him do it after what happened with the Hader deal 2 years ago. So that's why I would be shocked.
That would be you're getting rid of him because of money. You don't want to lose him. You got to get compensation. You're not going to pay him. Going to move on. And that would be another one of those dumps. And that would just be a bad optic for this team. It would just be a bad optic. Now, do they miss a beat? Not at the infield position, probably not. They've been that good. But everybody kept saying, well, Devin Williams is ready to go. And technically he was. But instead of having a 3-man back into your bullpen, it takes you to a 2-man, and the effect on inside the clubhouse, detrimental. So I can't see them doing it. I could be wrong, but at this point, I couldn't see them doing it and not making that same mistake. And if they did, and the season went south again, oh my God, you'll have Brewers fans jumping off the bandwagon. They'll still pay attention, but it'll be like, this team's not in it to win it. They're toiling away. Small market, toiling away, and they give a big name guy with a good clubhouse presence to the money team. Here you go. Go ahead. They'll pay him. We won't. It's just a bad look, bad optic all the way around. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. If you want to say hello, by all means, that's the way to do so. You can do it that way. And 608-321-1670, 608-321-1670. That's the text line. Hit us up there as well. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up right after this.
Ready? This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Looking for me? We deliver. Yes. What's up? Delivery. Oh my God. What we do? Brakes over, driver.
Come on, man.
Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Pickoff gets by. De La Cruz takes off. Perkins from center. Wave is on. Perkins barehand. Throw to the plate. Here's De La Cruz. Candelario loving it. Ray trying to get him, pick him off, and De La Cruz scores from second on an errant pickoff throw.
Seems like the Ellie De La Cruz headline was going to be all over whatever the shows are called there. Quick spin, or what do they call it?